It was a punk rock day. A show came on, so I decided to stay. It wasn't good, I watched it anyway. Oh yeah, it was a punk rock day. Yeah, it was a punk rock day. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Punk Rock Review, home of a bunch of opinionated crap you don't care about. Also the home of the feedback you provide that we don't care about, keeps us on an even playing field. And we like that. Real quick shout out to our sponsor. No sponsors here. Anyhow, moving straight into it today. Today we're going to be talking about something that's, kind of near and dear to our heart. And of course, we can't obviously talk about it without putting up our credentials because we are professional gamers, obviously. Today we're going to be talking about Overwatch 2. That's right, but we're not just going to be talking about any aspect of Overwatch 2. We're going to be talking about the aspects that we bring up and feel like talking about, obviously. Keep up. Anyhow, of course, we are talking today about the toxicity in Overwatch 2. That's right. So, man, you have some of the most toxic and mean individuals that you will ever face, man. That play this game. People that say stuff like, you guys aren't good, and things like that in the chat. And it's like tank trash and stuff. You're literally calling people trash. That's pretty bad. You throw trash away, obviously. The environment's just wholeheartedly toxic as far as that goes. Now, you have some individuals on there and whatnot that aren't toxic, and they say stuff like GG, which obviously means good game. So let's break it down for you. Obviously, if you don't know, let's do a little bit of school. So obviously, if you have GG, that equals good game. See? So you can tell that's what it equals because we wrote it on there. So you know that that's what it is. So you have folks that do that. However, you gotta be careful because they don't use caps lock. Because caps lock is a form of yelling. That'd be like, good game! And that's not what they're saying. There would be an actual exclamation point there. So what most folks tend to do is actually just use the G key and it'll be lowercase like that. So obviously the GG in lowercase as well means, good game. Good game. So there you go. Obviously, that means good game. And so you have players on there that aren't as toxic and things of that nature. But we digress because the toxicity does, reign in this game. Even from stuff, man, even if you're doing unranked, you got people blaming losses on individuals and stuff like, oh, it's the tank's fault, or, oh, where's my heals, and stuff like that. That's the best one, if only I'd gotten healed and such. And let's break this down. All right. So, obviously, you have the checkpoint, okay? That is this area right here, okay? This is the payload, this is whatever, okay? You have obstacles in the arena, okay? And they could be whatever, it could be whatever map, whatever level, okay? You have obstacles in the arena, man, that are all around the payload, okay? So if you have a healer, man, okay, say you got a Zenyatta right here on the payload, okay, and this is where everyone should be or whatever is, on this payload right here, you got a Zenyatta or whatever kicking it. Say you guys are going this direction and such, you're moving, going well and whatnot. Well, you got your tank asshole that, decides to come this way, come up here and then get out of line of sight or whatever and decide to battle folks over here, right? So you got this area, okay? So your Zenyatta obviously cannot throw an orb through this wall to heal your Zenyatta. So when your tank gets out of place, or your DPS, it doesn't have to be the tank, gets out of place and goes around there and doesn't account for what healer, their team may or may not be running and such, then, that's on them for being out of place and not being in the line of sight. If you got a Zenyatta, you gotta be line of sight, man. If you got a Lucio, you gotta be within range. If you got a Mercy, you just gotta hope that she decides to heal or res you and not someone else on your fucking team. That's just how it goes. For a team to be dominated and an individual over here, whether he's playing well or not, and an individual over here, whether he's playing well or not, you gotta play the game how the game is played and such, and it's a team-oriented, team-based game. So to strictly say, hey, the tank's trash, or hey, the healers are trash, or hey, one DPS guy who happens to have no kills but a shit ton of damage and whatnot, and just isn't landing the kills, okay, in that case, it's probably their fault a little bit. You gotta finish them off. But, you know, there are, you know, elements and such that get blamed on folks that's entirely a team-based thing. Maybe that dude's laying down the damage and it just requires, you know, the tank or, you know, the healers or something to kind of pick up that extra, you know, final hit point or two and whatnot, or help them, you know, kind of thing. It's a team-based, team-oriented game, obviously, and you got to take into account what your, you know, kind of team build is and what the confines of what a character can and can't do are before you go start blaming individuals and such like that, man. A lot of times, you know, people think that they're the only ones on the checkpoint, like, where the fuck is everybody? And it's like, well, everyone else is literally there or something, but, you know, you went off, you know, around a corner or some shit and decided to take on the entire other team by yourself. You know, it's just, it goes all sorts of wonky craziness and such. So, does toxicity exist in the game? Absolutely. Are there people who aren't toxic? Yes, it's a nice, you know, change of pace from the people who call you trash. That's it. What do we talk about? Pretty much nothing. You're welcome. 6.5, almost 7 minutes of your life gone. You're welcome. Give us money. Anyhow, Overwatch 2, toxicity existing in the game. What can be said about this one? Gets a good old-fashioned sad face. You see that face? That is one sad fucking face. And that's because someone must have called him trash. And that is not polite. Anyhow, that's it. Give us money. Have a good one. You probably didn't. We'll catch you next time. Probably won't.